How's it going, guys? Shape here, and welcome to the channel. This video is going to cover my thoughts on if the volatile farms are worth doing or not right now in patch 8.3. These farms might differ on your server as depending on what you plan on doing with the volatiles and how well they are selling may determine which one you should be focusing on. There are a number of different things these reagents can be used for, but the most popular would be the Vial of the Sands mount. This mount has been up and down the last few weeks on my server, and that could be for a variety of different reasons. You will need to combine the fire, air, water, and life volatiles for the mount, so usually all tend to sell relatively quickly and for a good price. But are they still worth farming this late in the expansion? So with that said, let's hop into it and find out if it's still worth doing these farms. Be sure to turn on your notifications, make sure you have that bell rung, and drop a like so you don't miss any of my future content. If you have any questions, drop a comment or tweet at me. The first volatile I'm going to talk about is the Volatile Air. The best place to farm out the Volatile Air is going to be the Vortex Pinnacle dungeon. You are most likely going to hit your 10 instances per hour fairly quickly in here, but you do get a very good amount of the Volatile Air for the little time that it will take you to do this farm. This dungeon can be done on most of your characters because it is only a level 90 dungeon. With all that said, all you need to do is run through everything up until the first boss and wait till you are there to kill everything. The mobs will occasionally stun you, but this isn't too much of a bother. Once you are at the first boss, just AoE everything down and make sure to loot all the mobs. You will repeat this process for the next group up until you get to the dragon mini boss, and once again AoE everything down. The last pull you want to do is pull everything up to the second boss, and once it's there, AoE it all down. This should only take a couple of minutes per run and it is quick and easy. A bonus to running this dungeon is if you don't already have the Drake of the North Winds mount, then you will most likely receive that off of the second boss if you run this place enough times. You can also clear the rest of the dungeon and pull everything up to the last boss if you would like, but the rest of these mobs don't drop the volatile airs. If you decide to just reset after the second boss, then all you have to do is jump off the edge and it will port you back to the beginning of the dungeon. Just head out from there, reset all instances, and head back in to do it again and again until you hit the lockout. After you have hit all 10 lockouts, you will have roughly 250 to 300 volatile airs. If you are using these for the Vial of the Sands mount, then you will have enough volatile airs for 3 mounts worth if you are towards the higher end. If you are just looking to make some quick gold, then you can sell these on the auction house relatively quickly for around 20 gold per volatile or 6,000 gold per lockout period. This farm is definitely worth it because you will either need to do this farm to have the volatile airs for the mount, or if you're just looking to make some quick gold on the auction house. The next volatile I'm going to cover is Volatile Life. This is a good farm to tie in once you hit your lockout for the volatile airs since you are already in Oldham. If you aren't already in Oldham, then just go ahead and head over there. For this farm you're going to need an herbalist. This is because you're going to be farming all of the whiptail in the area. Here's the best route to farm the whiptail in Oldham. Since the Volatile Life is a random drop, you will not get it every time you get whiptail, but the whiptail is just an added bonus to this farm. After an hour of farming, you will have around 300 volatile lives and 800 whiptail. Out of 10 runs doing this, I averaged 290 volatile lives and 805 whiptails per hour. This is a huge increase in gold per hour over the Volatile Airs farm, as you don't need to deal with the lockout. Currently on my server, the Volatile Life is going from 20 gold to 24 gold each, and the whiptail is going for around 11 gold each. Both of these have a high sell rate, and people are buying on average around 300 per day of each item. For the hour of farming, you will be looking around 15,000 gold per hour with this method if you choose to auction off everything. Now again, if you are just doing this for the Vial of Sands mount, then you will have a very good stockpile of the materials for the mount in just an hour of your time. I believe this farm is also definitely worth doing because the materials are still seeing a good sales rate and it doesn't take very much effort to do. Now if you don't have an herbalist, then don't worry, the next couple of farms don't require any professions to do them. First, let's talk about the Volatile Fire farm. For this farm, you're going to want to head out to Mount Hyjal over to this location to kill the Flame Ascendants. These mobs are in a pretty small little area of the map and have a very fast respawn timer. They have a chance to drop up to 3 volatile fire per mob. After you do one loop, they should already be respawned to start the loop over. I highly recommend using a druid to do this farm because you will be mounting and unmounting a lot, and an instant flight form for druids is very crucial in increasing the amount of mobs you can kill in 1 hour. If you don't have a druid to do this, then no worries, you can still do it on every character, but you may not be able to hit the same hourly results. I suggest you create a target macro as well for these, as this will speed up the process. A simple /tar flame ascendant /cast moonfire will be sufficient enough. Also, if the character you bring is an herbalist, then you can get the cinder bloom that spawns in the same area. You won't get a ton if you just stay on the loop, but in the hour you are here you will get a few respawns of cinder bloom that also have the chance of dropping the Volatile Life. Per hour you will be getting a little over 300 Volatile Fires. I actually almost had 400 Volatile Fires on one attempt out here, so it really depends on how many you're getting dropped to determine this number. Out of 10 runs doing this, I was averaging 340 Volatile Fires per hour. At 23 gold a piece on my server, you are looking at a little under 8,000 gold per hour with the farm. I believe this is one of the better volatile farms to be doing right now because the Volatile Fire has the highest sell rate out of all the volatiles and is the second most expensive. The next volatile I'm going to cover is the Volatile Water. This is going to be the most profitable volatile farm you can currently be doing, and it is still a pretty good sales rate to go with it. For this farm you're going to want to head over to the Twilight Highlands. This is the route you're going to want to use for this farm. Now if there are others in the area as well, then don't worry too much because this is still going to be a good farm to do. All you have to do is pick a smaller route in the route I just showed and you will still be making a good profit. The reason for this is because these mobs spawn very fast, sometimes they spawn while I'm still looting the ones I just killed. If there are more people in the area, then they will spawn even faster, so sometimes it is helpful to have someone else farming here. I would again suggest if you have a druid then to use them here because you're going to be doing a lot of mounting and unmounting and you just can't beat the instant flight form the druid has to offer. Instead of the /tar flame ascendants, just change that over to muddied water elementals and that macro should still work great with these mobs. This is probably the most competitive farm of the volatiles at the moment on the servers I have tried it on, but like I said, don't let that bother you too much because it actually can help up until a certain extent. After an hour of farming the volatile waters, you will have around 300 of them. Out of 10 runs doing this, I averaged 310 volatile waters per hour. Currently the volatile waters are selling for 25 to 30 gold on my server, so for an hour of farming you'll be looking at around 10,000 gold per hour on the high end. I believe between the volatile waters and fires, if you're going to focus on ones, these would be the ones to do. Also, you don't need any professions to do this as you are just killing and looting mobs, so that could be very beneficial to you as well. Now time for the last volatile. Volatile Earth is probably the least profitable of these farms to be doing right now. Out of all of the other volatile farms mentioned on the list, I believe this would be the only one I wouldn't recommend doing unless you need the materials for the Vial of the Sands mount. You're going to want to stay in the Twilight Highlands for this farm. The best route to farm these is going to be right here in the Twilight Highlands. You're going to be wanting to kill the Obsidian Stone Slaves, which have a chance to drop the Volatile Earths. If you are a miner, you can also mine them after killing them as well for a chance at more Volatile Earths. If you are farming materials for the Vial of the Sands mount as well, then you can choose to mine the aluminium ore and pyrite ore with this route as well. The ore also has a chance of dropping the Volatile Earth, but you won't be able to get as many doing it this way. After an hour of farming, you will have around 400 Volatile Earths from the Obsidian Stone Slaves. Currently the Volatile Earths are selling for around 10 gold on my server, so you're looking at around 4,000 gold per hour of farming. For that reason, I wouldn't focus on this one, and if I was going to focus on this one, it would be to get the pyrite and aluminium ore to turn into bars for the Vial of the Sands mount. The Volatile Earth you get from these are a bonus as you don't need too many in your crafting materials. The ore also has a chance to drop other volatiles depending on where the deposit was found. To just wrap things up, I do believe it is still worth it to be farming the volatiles no matter if you are just selling the materials or if you're making the Vial of the Sands mount, with the exception of the Volatile Earth unless they are selling better on your server than they are mine. The prices are actually increasing a little bit over the last few weeks because I think many have stopped farming these materials since they saw a drop in the Vial of the Sands mount prices. This could be the perfect time to get back into these farms if you already weren't doing them. Pretty soon you're going to be wanting to stockpile a lot of these old materials for when Shadowlands hits, but I will save that for another video on when I think is the best time for that. For now, sell them while you can. Well, there you have it guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to let me know any other farms you are currently doing that are successful. Please drop a like if you enjoyed the video to show some love for the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.